Hey everybody, welcome back again, and today I'm taking a look at another figure that I'm going to put in my category of second chance unboxings, and that's going to be DX9 Toys Detetive, which is their version of a Masterpiece scale and cartoon accurate Prowl. So originally I did not jump on this figure. I saw a lot of commentary online, a lot of complaints about the transformation and stability issues in the legs once he was in bot mode, and just decided initially not to jump on it. That, in conjunction with the fact that I have the Takara version of this figure, and I think that Takara, those Dotson Brothers cars, are among the best Masterpiece figures that Takara has ever put out. So I was really happy with what I had, and just didn't jump on this one at first. But as time went on, I had kind of that FOMO going on and wanted to go ahead and get this before it was no longer going to be available. And we're going to go ahead and get into it and see what we're looking at. So I did get my copy from ShowZ. I think that's just about the only place where the figure is still available. So looking at the boxing, pretty typical DX9 boxing. They've got kind of plain combination of product shots as well as some artwork. On the front, we've got the Detetive name, Digital X-Tall 9 Toys, D18. I always love the translations that they have on some of these figures, but the front we do have a product shot, nice little pose there. On the side, some of the art in the background, same on the other sides. On the bottom or top of the box we have alt mode, so really nice looking there. And then on the bottom we've just got some warnings, and then on the back some line diagrams of the figure. So let's go ahead and get into this guy and see what we've got going. Alright, so when we open them up, as with other DX9 figures, they do come in alt mode. In the box, we've got a nice little card with the Detetive name. And then in the clamshell, we have a nice head sculpt, alternate head sculpt. That crown right there is really tall, very exaggerated. And then we have his gun, which looks to be painted white plastic. Very similar to what we get with the Takara version, not quite as thick that way as the Takara gun, and also the Takara gun was silver, was painted silver, so okay looking there. And then we have Prowl in his alt mode, already transformed. Really nice looking, a little bit heavier than what I was expecting it to be, but we do have really nice markings on him. On the back we've got some nice markings as well for the tail lights and the blinkers. On the front we've got nice clear blue translucent headlights. We've got the blinkers on the top, and then on the bottom, as we can see, we can kind of see where his legs are. This was kind of one of my gripes about seeing the pictures of this in bot mode. When this becomes his legs, you can still see these posts that peg into the plastic of these clear parts, which I don't love that. I think it should have probably been a more solid blue. I believe there's some decal sets out there that you can add to that afterwards. But yeah, as a car, really nice looking. He's got rubber wheels. These are rubber tires, at least. The wheels are metal. They're pretty freely spinning. One thing that gets me about their cars, DX9's cars, is the tires aren't actually wide enough. If you look at that in scale, I think those tires are a little bit narrow, but it's okay for what it is. So really good looking in alt mode. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy transformed, and we'll take a look at him in bot mode. All right, so here we have Detetive in his bot mode. It was a little bit of a complex transformation. I mean, not terrible, but the inside pieces here, you know, where we get his upper torso area and his head back around. There were a couple spots there that were kind of weird. This transformation is nothing at all like what I expected it to be, and it's not like the Takara transformation. I kind of figured there would be similar engineering there as far as how that transformation works, but kind of a fun transformation, a little complex in some places. So let's take a look at his articulation. So at the head, we've got all the way around on the head. It is on a ball joint. You don't really get a whole lot of up and down or side to side. You actually get more side to side than you do up and down. For the shoulders, we get a good bit around, not quite all the way around just because we're blocked by this armature where the wheels are. We get all the way out, not very far up on this. I think maybe if we turn the shoulders, we can actually get a little bit more up on that. And then at the elbows, we get right at 90 degrees. We do get a bicep swivel. This little armature where his arms are, though, you've kind of got to hold everything in place if you want to get any articulation below that shoulder area. And then at the hands, we have no wrist rotation. We've got wrist in And then we've got a thumb on a ball joint, and mine is actually, both of them are a little bit loose. I mean, not terrible, but a little bit looser than I expected. And then the fingers, there are no individually articulated fingers. They're just all together on 2 pins. So, not great articulation at the hands, but probably an improvement over the Takara version. This part right here, though, does not seem to want to stay pegged together. But at the waist, we do have a waist swivel all the way around. It's just a friction swivel, and this keeps coming apart. We do have an ab crunch, a really good ab crunch there. You can see for hips, we do have 2 front skirts, 2 side skirts. There are built-in back skirts, but they don't articulate at all. We get that much up on the leg. We get a good ways out on the legs. We do have a thigh swivel, and then we've got a double knee joint. We get better than 90 degrees. Now this is where everybody complains, is how these legs collapse. There's no bit here that kind of makes it catch and then stay by friction. It just kind of collapses. I don't know how that's going to be when I stand it up on the shelf, but it's, you know, it's not as tight as I would expect it to be. At the ankles, we do have ankle tilt, and we don't really have any toe up or down. You've got a little bit of articulation in the back heel, but really that's just, you don't get a whole lot out of that. So overall, I think the figure looks really good. There are some issues with it, though. His chest does not seem to want to stay pegged into his mid-torso area very well. It keeps popping out, but I mean, overall, he looks really good. Let's bring in the Takara version next to him to get a little bit of a comparison. So as you can see, he is a good bit taller than the Takara version, probably by about ½ an inch or so. This is not the MP Plus version, so it's more of the toy deco than it is the Toon deco with the blue windows. But I think overall a good comparison. So I think my biggest gripe on this is the shins here being this transparent blue plastic. It shows off the peg holes where that piece of plastic pegs into the legs. So again, I know that there's some decal sets that let you cover that up with more of a cell shaded appearance, so I may do that. I don't know, we'll have to see. But overall, I really do like the figure. I don't necessarily know that he's an upgrade to the Takara version. Really, the articulation is pretty much the same. I mean, Takara obviously doesn't have an ab crunch, but as far as everything else goes, if you already have the Takara version of this figure, I would just stick with that. I don't know that I would go out and spend the money to get the DX9 version, just given some of the transformation issues that I've seen and the problems that I've heard other people complain about. And until they fix these knees so the legs don't collapse down into the shins, I would probably hold off on the next ones that are coming up. I know they're either Silver Streak or Blue Streak is coming out next. My hope was that they would have re-engineered the knees so that they don't collapse. But I don't know what they're going to do with that, so we'll just have to wait and see. But again, you know, overall, I think it's a nice figure. If I had it to do over again, I probably would not get it, and I definitely will not replace my Takara Prowl. So again, I really enjoyed creating this video for you guys. If you like, please subscribe, please share, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.